Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
All righty. Good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. If you've got a question regarding your vision or eye care, this is a live call-in show. Give us a call, 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. If you're new to the program, who's Dr. Lange? I'm a board-certified optometric physician, certified nutritional specialist, founded Lange Eye Care and Associates March 15th of 1993, and Fortifeye Vitamins around the same time. And I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. Folks, that's over 31 years. Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, this show is dedicated to you, the listener, the consumer, the viewer. So no matter how simple or complicated your question is, we will try to answer it to the best of our abilities. And there's actually three of us on the team today. Of course, Scuba Scott, who's my Ed McMahon. Good morning, Scoobs.
Good morning.
And Dr. John Poser, plastic surgeon extraordinaire in the Gainesville Villages, Tampa area. Good morning, Dr. Poser.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. Thank you for having me on the show. And I really appreciate the opportunity. I'd like to discuss, eyelids and visual acuity and obstruction as far as I can help you in the area of plastic surgery. I'm a board certified plastic surgeon, trained in Boston, and I've been practicing approximately 40 years now.
And I've been referring a lot of patients to you since I set up my first practice in the early 90s. And I got to tell you, one thing about Dr. Poser, the patients are always happy. He's got a great bedside demeanor, amazing skill set. So if you're looking for a great reconstructive plastic surgeon, Dr. John Poser, and he's available in Ocala in my old Lange Eye Care building. Okay, that's this 2-story building right on State Road 200. You go upstairs up the elevator, and he's got a suite in the back where he takes care of a lot of problems. And of course, he's got his plastic surgery center in Gainesville, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So anyway, you can learn more about me and the show if you go to our website, drmichaellange.com. That's drmichaellange.com. And the vitamins that we've created and done research on is Fortifeye.com. Remember, I'm an eye doctor, so it's kind of a play on words. That's Fortifeye.com. Fortifeye, Fortifeye.com. And I'm going to give you the phone number twice for Fortifeye Vitamins. And let's see, I think Charlene will be answering the phones today in Ocala at the Lange Nutrition Center. And that's also distribution headquarters for Fortifeye Vitamins. And that phone number is 866-503-9746. One more time, phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins. If you want to call and order any of the supplements we talk about is 866-503-9746. So I just want to talk a little bit about something that can help everybody, okay? It can help your depression, your arthritis, your high blood pressure, your diabetes, just about any and all eye diseases ranging from dry eye to glaucoma to macular degeneration to uveitis and a multitude of other health problems. What is one thing that you can do? And I think Dr. Poser will agree with me, but weight management, all right? A lot of you out there can pinch a lot more than an inch, okay? And so weight management is crucial. And sometimes it's easier said than done, right? A lot of you have been on just about every diet in the world and you just can't lose weight, or you lose weight and you gain it back. A lot of you are taking a lot of toxic medications to lose weight that are not without potential side effects. So I want you guys and gals to go to the website, Fortifeye.com. I've written up a synopsis of how you can lose weight. And you don't even have to buy anything. Go to Fortifeye.com and go to the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. So go to the bundle section, go to Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. Take about 5 minutes to read all that. I've told you how to lose weight, okay? I even give you pictures of meals that I've created and recipes on how to lose weight. Well, the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle, you take a combination of our organic blue-green superfood, one scoop of your choice of one of our whey proteins. You shake it together in water, and then boom, that's a meal replacement each day. You don't take it at the same time. Take it one day for breakfast, one day for lunch, one day for supper. This way your brain doesn't go in, your body doesn't go into starvation mode and your metabolism slow down. So that's going to help you lose weight because number one, it's low calories. That's 120 calories, 22 grams of protein, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, enzymes and probiotics, and 6 adaptogenic mushrooms, all in that meal. So it's an amazing meal. And then the other 2 meals or even 3 meals a day, eat from the Lange survival diet. And I have those meals on that page, or you can Google Lange survival diet. And I guarantee, that's my New Orleans accent coming out, you will lose weight. Now you got to add a little exercise. And the best time to exercise is first thing in the morning before breakfast. Get up, have your cup of coffee, a glass of water, and then go for a 1-hour walk. Not a run, a walk. The first 15 minutes is going to burn the glycogen that's stored in your muscles and your liver. That's going to give you energy. Then the next 45 minutes, you're going to be burning pure fat. So once again, Healthy Weight Loss Bundle, Lange survival diet, walk for an hour in the morning. And once again, losing weight is an ideal way to benefit your health. Dr. Poser, you got up this morning and started exercising before you came to the show. So it's all about diet, exercise, lifestyle changes, all of that. It's kind of a total package, isn't it?
Yeah, it's best to get a routine of a workout routine that fits your schedule, but you should make sure you do it at least 3 to 4 times a week. If you don't, you get out of the rhythm and you kind of give up on yourself. So I myself have worked out my entire life. I think I've gone 10 days without working out in my whole life, and it keeps your metabolism up, it keeps your muscle building up. So that's the way you should do it. Be continuous.
Didn't I read someplace, I don't know where, an article about you someplace that you, I don't know if it was in college or high school, that you were one of a select group that played 3 different sports? Was that in college?
Well, in college, we couldn't play as a varsity as a freshman, but you could play freshman ball. So I was the only one at University of Wisconsin who played 3 sports: basketball, football, baseball, and was in pre-med. And then eventually I just played baseball my last 3 years.
Yeah, that's tough to play all those sports and study and make good grades in pre-med to be accepted to med school. Not the typical person can't handle that.
Yeah, I was the last. That's why I was the last one to do it.
You're a machine. That's why he's on the show this morning. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors, Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. John Poser, Poser Plastic Surgery Center in Gainesville, Ocala, and he does see patients and do some procedures around this area as well in the Tampa Bay area. If you got a question, give us a call. Now, you can also call regarding any nutritionally related topic as well, or any eye topic. 1-877-969-8600. 1-877-969-8600. Once again, if you want to lose weight, check it out at Fortifeye.com, the Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. All right, so Dr. Poser, let's say we got a patient out there 35, 45, 55 years of age, and they're in pretty good shape, all right? They've been following everything I preach. They work out, they exercise, and they still can pinch a couple of inches, okay? They still have this little belly roll. And, is there anything that they can do or you can do as a plastic or a reconstructive surgeon that may help them along a little quicker?
Interestingly enough, when we're born with the same number of fat cells that we have for our whole life. So if you do gain weight, the fat cells just swell. You don't produce new ones unless you gain over 100 pounds, and then the body will start reproducing more fat cells. Interesting also is the fact that if you lower your body fat by, let's say, liposuction, those areas that you just can't get rid of, and everybody has areas that are there from, it's basically hereditary from your grandmother and your great grandmother, et cetera, father. You can lipo those down. And interesting, as I mentioned, the less fat you have, the better your insulin works. So they're doing that for diabetic patients now, is try to reduce their fat load, and actually their insulin becomes more sensitive. It's a sensitivity thing. It's not less or more insulin, but the sensitivity of the insulin itself.
And so diabetics out there, weight loss is crucial. And we preach that. Dr. Somerton at the Lange Institute, myself, Dr. Caputi, when patients come in, they're diabetics and they're overweight, we really sit down for a long time and counsel with them, how important it is to lose weight. And, we always recommend, seeing a nutrition specialist, a physician, somebody to help you lose that weight. Because remember, if you're diabetic and you start all of a sudden not consuming calories and you're still on your diabetic medication, you can become hypoglycemic. Your blood sugar can drop and you could be driving your car and you could pass out and die. So it's kind of a catch-22. It's kind of difficult to tell a diabetic to go on a diet. It's got to be a controlled atmosphere. Somebody that knows what they're doing needs to be counseling you. And I never recommend just going on a zero carb diet, especially if you're a diabetic, unless your doctor is following you. Because, I think, Dr. Poser, a lot of people, if we did some sort of survey or study, we see a lot of accidents out there on the interstate. Think about diabetics that are over medicated and their blood sugar's dropping and their blood sugar's like 40 and they're driving down the road. If they don't have something they can eat, they'll pass out at the wheel, won't they?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's one thing that can happen to diabetics. I mean, they can be in the car, they can be in the house, and they can cause problems for themselves and other people. So it's a dangerous situation, and diabetics should be aware that they have to keep control of their diabetes in a very particular way to prevent things like that happening.
So diabetics should always have those glucose wafers you can get at Walgreens. Those glucose wafers, or a Snickers bar, or some apple juice or orange juice in your purse, in your pocket, in your car when you're traveling, because you never know when your blood sugar could drop too much. All right, we're getting ready to take a phone call. If you got a question, give us a call at 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, host of Ask the Doctor for 31 years, and my very welcome guest, Dr. John Poser of Poser Plastic Surgery Center in Gainesville, and he's in Ocala as well. So give us a call if you have a question. All right, let's go to see Steve in Clearwater. Steve, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, I had two questions today. Number one for Dr. Posner. What causes people to get a double chin? In other words, why do in some people does that underneath the chin drop, and other people it doesn't at all? What's the difference in either the chemistry or the collagen, or what's the difference between the two groups of people?
Well, basically, we're kind of a robot of our parents. We get exactly what they get, or our great parents. It's hereditary. The fat cells are distributed in certain areas. Some people get lucky and they have no fat cells in their neck. Their grandmother didn't have it. Nobody had it. But a lot of people, if you look back, they say, oh yeah, I remember my great grandfather had a big chin. So it's a distributed hereditary thing. And as you get older, of course, then the skin sags a bit more, and then it also gets a little bit more pronounced. So the way we handle that is by simply liposuctioning the neck and get rid of all that fat. But then there's the stretched skin and fascia. So then you have to go and do what we call a neck lift, which is an incision behind the ear, and you tuck in the fascia, tightening the sternocleidomastoid fascia to the platysma muscle, which is the underlayer of the skin. And they get a pretty good result of most people. And a lot of people with weight loss have the same thing.
Is there any way that you naturally can tighten up the skin? In other words, I know there's a lot of cosmetics, but I mean, is when the skin tightens up, now some people it does and some people it doesn't after weight loss. How does the body tighten up that skin? Does it make more collagen? Does it tighten up the collagen fibers? What does it do so that when you go from baggy skin after weight loss and it slowly tightens up again, what's actually happening in that skin?
Well, if you notice, some people that lose weight in their face, they look kind of saggy and sad, but over a 3-month period of time, they do look better. but it never goes back to, what you call 100% or like being 18 years old again. There's a certain amount of inflammation, caused by the fluid accumulation in the fat cells, et cetera, that cause some contraction of the connective tissue of the neck and the face. So that's why you see an improvement for a while, but then it stops, and then you have to consider having surgery at that point.
Okay, and one more question. Why do women get bags under their triceps, but men don't?
Wow, Steve. Okay. Basically, women's arms are, not developed like men's arms, physically or hereditary. So we bulk up, and men have fairly big triceps, and kind of fills in that space, but women don't. So what happens over time, if you keep your muscle up for a male, it keeps that skin stretched out, but females, it never does. And then they go through the normal aging process, and it does droop, more than men. But if men did stop working out, let's say they pumped up and then they quit for 10 years, and they get to be 60 years old, it's gonna sag too.
Okay, well, I guess I better watch out now in the next few years. Thank you. You explained things very well, Dr. Posner.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless.
Steve, have a good one. Steve's been a caller. Steve always has a lot of great questions. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors. Give us a call at 1-877-969-8700. 1-877-969-8600. Let's go to Roberta in Arizona. Roberta, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Dr. Lane. Can you tell me something about your stem cells? The drops?
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the Regenerize drops, okay? So these actually have used amniotic fluids, okay, that are in that is notorious for having the stem cells. So Regenerize is a very unique drop. I like to call it the best dry eye drop on the market. We've used it on lots and lots of patients, okay? So I always say to patients that have dry eye, depending on how dry your eyes are, if they're early stage, you can use something like Oasis Tears or Optase MGD. Those are the two best lubricants on the market, in my opinion. But the best drop is, in my opinion, once again, Regenerize, because not only is it a lubricating drop that you use for the vehicle for these enhanced type of bioactive cells that are in this drop, but it also has hyaluronic acid in it, which is a natural anti-inflammatory. So I think people that have tried multitude of different things for dry, aggravated eyes that feel sandy, gritty, burn, tear, itch, and you've tried prescription medications and you're still having problems, I think it's definitely worth a shot trying the Regenerize. And most people do fine 2 times a day with this drop, but if they have really dry eyes, I tell them to use it 4 times a day for the first 2 to 3 weeks, and then drop back to 2 times a day. So are you talking in regards to dry eye?
I have very dry eyes.
Right. So we have, I'd like to think, probably one of the largest dry eye clinics in the country because, in the villages, it's a geriatric central. So my average age patient is 82. And I have some people that come in just about have dust coming out of their eyes. That's how dry they are. And so on dry eye, I always approach it first naturally. And I always say we do 4 steps. We heat the lids, we clean the lids. So we heat them with a warm washcloth, then we clean them right after, because when you heat them, the meibomian glands house a lot of bacteria and viruses and antigens and stuff in there. When you heat them, that stuff comes out. Then you clean it off with a good lid care preparation like, Optase or hypochlor solution or OcuSoft. So we heat them, we clean them, we lubricate them, all right? So Optase MGD or Oasis, and then we nutrify these glands. And that's where I created the Fortifeye Advanced Dry Eye Therapy Kit. It's a combination of triglyceride form omega-3, Fortifeye Focus, and black currant seed oil. It comes with 3 bottles. And that combination, and that 4 combination usually is very effective at helping dry eyes. And remember, you also have to hydrate. You have to drink plenty of fluids. Believe it or not, eat a banana or an avocado every day for the potassium, because a potassium deficiency can actually increased dry eye symptomology. So if we've tried all that and you still have no having issues, that's when the Regenerize drops come into play. And if you just want to go straight to Regenerize, there's nothing wrong with that. But the Regenerize are $75 a bottle, so they're a little bit more expensive than the typical, Oasis or Optase tears. But I got to tell you, they work quite well.
I'd like to add something to that. I'm working with Dr. Schultz, who's a worldwide expert on biofilm and wound care. And they're finding that there's a biofilm over, inflamed eyeball, like there are in any kind of wound. And what a biofilm is something produced by bacteria that produces this film, kind of like a plastic sheet that doesn't allow the blood vessels to grow into to kill the bacteria. So that's something that's being studied. And there's actually some new medicines coming out maybe to cover that. Also, if you have chronic inflammation of your upper eyelids with bacteria there, oftentimes that bacteria gets into the eye and helps, have the biofilm continue on. So you might, some people come in and have their eyelids operated and just get rid of all the, the extra sweat and the skin that causes that inflammation and excess tissue.
You still there, Roberta?
Yes.
So
Yes.
and you
How
can,
long does that?
Oh, Regenerize is actually available online at the website at Fortifeye.com, and we drop ship it at no charge to Arizona. So you can go to Fortifeye.com and you can see the Regenerize drops and learn a little bit more about that. I'm sorry, what was the rest of your question?
How long does that last?
Well, that one bottle, if you use it twice a day in both eyes, is close to a month's supply. Okay. If you use it, 4 times a day, obviously it's not going to last as long.
Okay, I did order that kit in December, but I can't see well enough to read your labels to know what anything is.
All right, so one bottle is just pure omega-3 from Norway, okay? So as long as you're not allergic to sardines, all right, you should have no problems.
No, I eat sardines.
Right, you should have no problems. And one little black pill is our Fortifeye Focus. It has an olive oil delivery system, and it has simply lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin in it. It's equivalent to eating a big bunch of organic kale, spinach, wild Alaskan salmon, orange bell peppers, and goji berries. So that's the nutrients that are in that. And the final bottle is black currant seed oil. And that I haven't had anybody that's had a negative reaction to it. Black currant seed oil is very unique to us because there's only really 3 things on the planet that are good at actually stimulating series 1 prostaglandins. That's one of the arenas, it's one of the inflammatory cascades, prostaglandin cascades. And so the way we do that is with GLA. That's called gamma linolic acid. And that's very high in 3 oils: evening primrose oil, borage oil, and black currant seed oil. There's a little bit in spirulina, but I like black currant seed oil the best for this. And so that's one of the only ways to stimulate this series 1 prostaglandin. And that one of its purposes is to stimulate a healthier tear film. So there's a method for my madness. There's a reason I put all 3 of those together because they work very effective at decreasing these inflammatory prostaglandins. And dry eye, one of the root causes is inflammation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So take 1 pill in each bottle and take it with your breakfast or lunch. Don't take it on an empty stomach. And it takes a little while. It takes 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks to really take effect. But you'll also notice if you have any arthritic symptoms or joint pain or dry skin, you'll notice all that improves as well. And if you go and have your blood chemistries done, it's just possible that your lipids profile can improve too, your triglyceride, your cholesterol numbers, even your inflammatory markers, things like C-reactive protein can improve. Remember, God made a pretty good body if we give it the right fuel. The problem is it's hard to find that right fuel.
Well, he didn't, unfortunately, give me a good body. He gave me a body that doesn't process well.
Well, you got to adapt and overcome, right, Roberta? This is what this show's all about. And a little prayer is always a good idea. So you never can underestimate the power of prayer.
I prayed for you for years and years. I just wish I would have known about you earlier.
Well, we're going to move forward now, and things are going to be good. Roberta, think positive, okay?
I do. Thank you so much. I'm expecting some help here.
Well, thanks for the call.
Thank you, Dr. Lane. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So some of the things I talked about, the Fortifeye Advanced Dry Eye Therapy is a kit that I literally worked on for many, many years. And I do see a lot of dry eye patients. And I don't like to just load you up on drugs. I like to take the natural approach. And so Fortifeye Advanced Dry Eye Therapy is one of the top dry eye natural protocols on the market. It's recommended by doctors all over the world. So check it out. If you do have dry eye, go to fortifeye.com and go to the bundle section and look at advanced dry eye therapy. I think you'll be very pleased. Remember, these are not cures. These vitamins are not cures. They're not treatments. They're giving the nutritional support that your body is thirsting for. All right, let's go back to the phones in just 1 second. Let me give you the phone lines. We got my very welcome guest and good friend, Dr. John Poser from Poser Plastic Surgery Center in Gainesville, Ocala. Give us a call at 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. We're going to go to my old stomping grounds. We're going to go to Mississippi now. Let's see. I think it's Brad in Mississippi. Morning, Brad.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I see that you had that the surgeon with the Botox deal. I wanted to ask you if you got Botox and you didn't do it for another 5 years, would that be any lasting effects on you? Would it make you look funny, or would it be best to do it once every couple of years? I was just thinking about it. Have crow's feet or whatever they call it.
Yeah, actually, wrinkling of the forehead and the crow's feet of the eyes are it's caused by having sometimes eyelid obstruction or just overexpression. But sometimes people have to lift their eyes up because they got so much skin on their upper eyelids that they can't see right. So they lift their forehead up, and also sometimes they smile hard and they get the crow's feet. But Botox actually paralyzes the muscle, and unfortunately or fortunately, it lasts 3 months. Sometimes it does go down and get in the wrong muscle and you get some drooping. So even if it goes wrong, it goes away in 3 months. But on the other side, if it works perfectly and gets rid of the wrinkles, it lasts 3 months. So you have to get it done every 3 months. People come in all the time. There's people that have, deep creases above their nose. I had a professor who everybody said, "What, are you mad at me all the time?" Or I'm going to get a C in your class. So he came into me to get rid of that deep line, and it included Botox and Juvederm injections. So it's a good thing to have, and they use it for other things like bladder spasms and spasm of the face, the facial muscles, that sort of thing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Also, one other thing on a different side of that, I've been using that Rejuvenate, and it seemed like the elasticity, it helps me with my skin too, So I think both of those hand in hand would really boost things up.
Well, Dr. Lange's an expert at that, but yeah, it does build up the collagen, which is an important part of your body. It's your structural part of your skin. So Dr. Lange will go in that a little more deeply.
Right. So I'm glad you're a listener. The Fortifeye Rejuvenate has really been a big hit, and we worked on that for many years before we came out with it. We're one of the first in the United States to use a marine collagen tripeptide, okay? Tripeptides are very vogue in the nutritional arena for anti-aging in Europe, and they're becoming very vogue in the United States, so we're leading the way. So we not only use that marine collagen tripeptide, but we added hyaluronic acid, rice ceramides, dermaval, which is 9 superfoods, some liposomal vitamin C, biotin, and a few other vitamins. And it's 3 delicious flavors. You just mix it up in water and drink it down. And we've got a lot of testimonials. If you go to the website at fortifeye.com and go to Rejuvenate, you'll see, we've got hundreds of testimonials, and we've only had it out for a couple of months now. So people are liking it. The jury's still out because it's only been out a couple of months, but we're getting a lot of great feedback. My joints are feeling better. I think my skin's looking better. Heck, I think I'm looking younger, but that's just me.
And women love it because their hair gets thicker and their nails get thicker.
right? Then that's just true. My wife's hair has gotten a lot thicker, and a lot of women are liking what it's doing for the nails too. And the studies indicate, I mean, it's really interesting. You can see the studies on the website at fortifeye.com. If you go to the science section, just the 1 milligram or the 1 gram of marine collagen tripeptide after 3 months in a double-blind placebo-controlled study, women, I think they were age 44 to 84, had 10 times less fine lines and wrinkles, 6 times skin elasticity, and 4 to 6 times hydration, and 80% less joint pain. So look at those studies. I have all the studies posted on that. So that is Fortifeye Rejuvenate. I'm glad you brought that up, since we're talking about this kind of general topic right now.
Right. Also, you had said when you were talking about Rejuvenate, and I heard that superfoods deal. I've seen that on the site. Now that's another product, right? What does that actually do? Would that work hand in hand with Rejuvenate, or? Well,
superfood is like 14 different organic fruits and vegetables, 6 adaptogenic mushrooms, enzymes, and probiotics. And the reason I developed that, there's some studies that came out recently showing if you added additional 5 servings of fruits and vegetables to your diet, it can decrease disease and increase longevity. And a lot of people have a lot of digestive problems from gluten and FODMAPs and things like this. And we don't have any of that in the superfood. So the organic blue-green superfood is a great way to get whole foods, get those additional fruits and vegetables that most of you are not getting. And it's delicious. It's a berry flavor. You simply put it in water and shake it up. Remember, when I started the program this morning, we talked about weight loss, healthy weight loss. When you add a scoop of our whey protein to the scoop of the superfood and shake it up, it's a complete meal with only 120 calories and 22 grams of protein.
I'd like to add one thing to that. The probiotics in it help your intestines with the bacteria in the intestines. Your intestines are your second mind. They produce a lot of hormones like serotonin and things like that. So you want to keep your colon healthy. So it helps with that area too.
Oh, okay. Well, you both had some good points there. I really appreciate it, and I love the show. So thanks for asking my questions.
All right, Brad, Mississippi. Have a great day.
Yep, y'all too. Thank you.
Got one of my degrees from Southern Miss, University of Southern Miss in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. All right, we're getting loaded up. Let's take some more phone calls. Let's go to Jan in the Villages. Jan, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Okay. Hi, Doc.
Hey.
Hey, I'd like to finish up the last piece of the question Steve asked, and that would be if women have that little baggy underarm fat, would pumping iron help it or not?
Yeah, it does actually help. I mean, your muscles do develop if you work them. And most times women don't work their arms. They just, it's not part of the area they want their leg and their butt. So they kind of forget about the arm. So you can get specific exercise to develop the arm muscles. And it does fill out, the volume of the skin. So definitely it would work. If, at a certain age, if you have skin that's kind of saggy and you're 70, it probably won't help that much. But if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and early 60s, it probably would.
Okay. Hey, another quick one, Doc, if you have time. I had my cataracts done, and a friend of mine who kind of coached me, who went a little bit ahead of me on that and went to the same doctor, just had to have them removed again. And he said that he was told that 30% of people that get the cataract surgery do develop secondary little cataracts and have to get them out. He said it was real quick, real easy, but he did have to go back. Is that true?
Wow, what a racket, huh? So I'm just teasing. Yes, that's true. That is called posterior subcapsular haze, or PCO. And that's when you remove the cataract, the surgeon will go in and cut a hole in the bag that the lens, the human crystalline lens, sits in, and then suck that cataract. We'll break it down with ultrasound and suck it out. Where they leave the bag in the eye, and they take an implant that's folded up like a little ball, and it unfolds in that bag. That bag starts to opacify and become cloudy anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 years out, and sometimes never. All right, but it's very common at 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years to have a little hazy vision. It's kind of like a dirty window. And then you go in with a laser and they do what's called a YAG capsulotomy. It literally takes 10 seconds. It's painless and it's covered by insurance. And it's kind of like washing the window or cleaning the window, and it's gone. And that usually is only done once in your life, and usually it does not come back. Very rarely I have seen it come back and have to be done a second time. But I'd say 99% of the time you have it done once, and you go to the grave when you're, an old person without ever having it done again.
Okay. For some reason, I feel as though just recently, maybe in the last week, it feels like my vision got a little bit better. I don't know why that would be.
Well, Jan, you're practicing you're practicing all the anti-aging things that we discussed and that and so you're like a bottle of fine wine. You're getting better with age. And I want to talk about the saggy underarm briefly. So think about this: our Fortifeye Fit Pro. Okay, Fortifeye Fit Pro was developed for that 60 plus, 70 plus crowd to help with sarcopenia. Remember, sarcopenia is muscle wasting. Your muscles start to waste, you start to get weak. And then when those get smaller, then obviously your skin gets a lot more wrinkly and saggier. So like Dr. Poser said, exercise, work the triceps, go to the gym, work your biceps, all right? And consider taking the Fortifeye Fit Pro because it's a combination of some nutrients. There's four specific nutrients in there that have been shown to build muscle at any age, even without exercise. With exercise, it builds muscle much quicker. But it's the HMB, the My HMB combined with the vitamin D that's in it and the German Creapure creatine. Those three things, multitude of studies have been shown it can help build muscle, like I said, at any age. And then the whey protein that's in it, the grass-fed whey protein, the collagen protein, the beta anhydrous, and then we've added peak ATP to give you energy without being a stimulant. No caffeine. We don't want to trigger atrial fibrillation, have you stroke out in the gym. So it's been a carefully thought out supplement that you can take if you're 15. And my mom is 96 and she takes it. So look at the research and the studies on the website at fortifeye.com, and it's Fortifeye Fit Pro. And I think I might have talked to you about that before.
Yeah, I'll be in this week to get some of that, I guess.
All right, Jan.
All right.
You take good care.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Ask the Doctors. We're getting ready to take another call in just 1 second. So, Cerise, just hold on. If you guys got a question, give us a call. It's Dr. John Poser, plastic surgeon extraordinaire and reconstructive surgeon. And that is me, Dr. Michael Lange. 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins. You want to call, I think Charlene is there this morning answering the phone. Fortifeye Vitamins is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. And go to fortifeye.com. Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. Also, if you want to watch a replay of this, you can go to our YouTube channel. That's simply Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health channel on YouTube. Dr. Michael Lange Ocular Health channel on YouTube. And we've got literally hundreds of videos you can watch that are titled. You can see what subject you want to listen to or watch and go for it. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Cerise, I think, in Sarasota. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Lange and Dr. Posner. I had a question for both of you, and I hope I'm not repeating a question. I just had come in from doing yard work, and I didn't want to miss your program. My question is, I'm getting all this info on red light therapy and all that, and I was wondering, I mean, everything. I mean, it's like eyes and skin tightening, and it's both for medical and for, they say, and for cosmetic kind of reasons. And I wanted to ask both your opinions of that. Is it a hype or is it really bona fide?
So I have seen some studies, and Dr. Somerton, who usually co-hosts the show, is more of an expert at this than I have. I have seen some studies, all right? Now, I got to admit, they're not really great, huge, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, but I've seen some studies and some science that suggest that this frequency of light, this wavelength that's more in the red zone, and you think about Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, vertigo, blue, violet. Roy G. Biv is a mnemonic way of thinking of these wavelength links. So I've seen some studies that suggest that it may be beneficial at helping to rebuild collagen in the body. Okay. Now, I'm always grasping at natural ways. Okay. So I actually joined a gym because it has that red light therapy. You stand up, it's a vibration plate and red light total therapy at Planet Fitness. So a little plug for Planet Fitness. You know, it's not very expensive. And they've got you stand up in it for 10, 12 minutes. It's got music, it's got a fan and a vibration plate. And I know the vibration plate does help with bone density and help with circulation. I know that. And I've seen some good studies on that. So it's a combination. And, you know, membership's only $20 a month. I have seen many doctors that have red light therapy charge $75 to $150 a session for this red light therapy. Now, Dr. Poser's probably more of an expert. I just haven't seen enough evidence to me to validify that it works really well. I don't think it has any harm, and I don't think it's going to hurt you. Is it going to be a miraculous recovery of your body and your skin? Probably not. I'm going to let Dr.
Poser.
John Poser chime in.
That's me. I'm still here, Mike. But anyway, you know, I think there's a lot of things in medicine that come and go. You know, you can say, yeah, red light probably stimulates collagen. The question is, how long does it take to stimulate it? I mean, I know there's masks out there you can buy at Walmart, you know, so obviously it doesn't cause any damage. But I would say from my experience in wound healing and, you know, wound development and skincare, that it would probably take a lot more red light therapy to help your skin than is being done out there in the public. I mean, putting a mask on for an hour may help, you know, 10%, but in reality, it may take, you know, 12 hours. So my opinion is that it's not going to hurt you and may help a little bit, but it probably is not quite the answer to it.
Well, when I watched this hour-long webinar on it yesterday, and I can't remember what the measurement's called, but according to the color of the light, they said, well, yellow light heals or helps one ailment or situation. The red light helps something, or the higher up you go with, however they do the measurements. I can't remember what the measurements are called, but different measurements. Sometimes the lower measurement, they said, is more beneficial for certain situations, and sometimes you need a higher. So it's like it goes back and forth depending on how, whatever those increment measurements are that they
you know,
talked about.
Cerise, what we're going to do, I think next week, I'm going to have Dr. Somerton chime in because she's been really into this whole red light therapy, and she's been researching a lot, and she would know a lot more about the studies and the exact science behind it. And I'll do a little bit more research too. But I kind of tend to agree with Dr. Poser. I mean, it's definitely not a miracle cure. It's not instant gratification. Does it help? I'm hoping it helps because I'm doing it. All right. It hadn't hurt me any. And but I would not invest tens of thousands of dollars in some of this equipment thinking it's going to, you know, turn back the clock 25 years.
Right. Okay. Well, I know you guys are so knowledgeable, and I just wanted to get your input because, you know, I don't want to rush into something. I'm very hesitant on that, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for the call. All right. Good morning, everybody. Actually, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I had to say that because some of you are watching us over in Europe and Thailand and Japan and Australia, all over the planet. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Dr. John Poser and myself, Dr. Michael Lange, hosting Ask the Doctor. 31 years now. If you got a question, give us a call. 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. That's simply Dr. Michael Lange _ Dr. Michael Lange _ on Instagram. I got a blue check. I don't know, 60, 70,000 followers. There's a lot of fake Dr. Michael Lange Instagrams. So probably 250 to 300 fake ones. The blue check, that's the only real one. If you follow me, then somebody that is going to act like me is going to eventually want to talk to you in a private room. It is not me. Remember, I will never ask you for money. I will never ask you to invest in a philanthropic organization. Those are all scams. Be very careful. Don't get catfished. All right. So when we think about vision, most of us think about acuity. You know, what's your vision? 2020, 2030, 2040. All right. But there's more to vision than just visual acuity. We have contrast sensitivity. We have color vision. We have peripheral vision. A lot of you guys and gals that are listening right now have macular degeneration or glaucoma. And a lot of you are vision impaired. That's why you listen to the radio, right? So if you have loss of central vision from macular degeneration or macular hole or some other disease entity, or you have glaucoma, you have loss of peripheral vision. Now, let's say, hypothetically, your upper eyelids become very baggy. They start to sag in your line of sight. Well, literally, 50 to 60% of that working vision that you have peripherally could be gone. So there is a drop that was created called Upneek. And I always say, if it's not too bad, you can come to the Lange Eye Institute. We can give you a prescription. We actually sell it at the Lange Eye Institute. It's called Upneek. You put one drop in. It actually it goes into the muscle that elevates the lids, and it does work. Not on everybody. So if it's not that bad, you put this drop in, your eyelids go up 35%. It works for many people. Many people are happy. But let's face it, a lot of you have a lot of baggy upper eyelid skin. Your brows are sagging, and the eyelids are interfering with your vision. And Dr. Poser, this is where blepharoplasty or eyelid surgery can be a valuable tool, a functional way of improving their vision, right?
That's correct, Mike. I think what Mike is talking about is the Mueller muscle that the drops work on. It's an automated muscle that probably it's a sympathetic nerve innervation that when the sun's out and you're awake, it's also awake and it holds your eyelid up. At nighttime, it tends to go down. What can happen with that muscle is if you have a lot of excess skin in your eyelids, that's carrying around a weight on your back, except it's a weight on your Mueller muscle. So your eyelids start sagging. Sometimes it can get down to your pupil and you start covering your pupil up, which obstructs your vision. So you have to be careful of that. Also, when people get older, sometimes that muscle pulls away from the cartilage in the lid, and then the eyelid drops again. Also, myasthenia gravis will take away the energy from that muscle too, and that's one of the first signs of myasthenia gravis is eyelid droop. So in reality, when you do upper eyelids, you're not only like looking better, or reconstruction of aging, but also it takes away your dry eye to a certain degree because you get rid of the bacteria in it, and also dewaits your Mueller muscle so your eyelids can maintain their elevation over the daytime. So that's how that works.
And that's a procedure, blepharoplasty, that you can do right in your office. You don't even have to go to a surgery center, right?
It's just excess skin, so it's almost like taking a mole off. You can come in and get numbed up, just like you go to the dentist and have it done and walk out in 40 minutes. You don't have to go to the hospital, have an IV, be put to sleep for that. That's an overplay for this kind of surgery.
What is the phone number for your office?
Yeah, it's 352-372-3672. 352-372-3672.
So that's Dr. John Poser. He does a lot of eyelid surgery for our patients, does a great job. We got time to take another call pretty quickly here. So we're going to go to Susie in Ocala, and she's going to have to talk fast. Hey, Susie, good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
Can you help me with, I have insulin resistance. Can you tell me what I should be doing?
All right. So insulin resistance, and we got only 50 seconds. I can give you a whole paper that talks about insulin resistance if you shoot me an email. Do you have my email address, or you got a pen and paper and I can give it to you?
I do.
All right. So it's idude92 at iCloud.com. I'm going to spell it EYEDUDE 92 at iCloud.com. Shoot me that email. I'll write what I think about insulin resistance, natural ways to approach it, and I'll link you to some really good studies, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Great. Thank you.
All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. Dr. John, you're going to have to be a guest again. We had a lot of calls. A lot of people want to know.
Well, plastic surgery, interesting subject. You know, it's been around a long time. In Latin, it's called plastico, changeable. So that's what we do. We change things for the better.
Well, thanks for being a co-host, and we're going to have to do it again real soon. All right, I'm Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Remember, if you're not happy with the eye care you're getting, get a second opinion. With that, I'm out of here. Have a great day. God bless you, and God bless America.